और मैडम जा रहे? आओ छोड़ देंगे आपको। अरे कहाँ जा रहे आप? फ़ोन नंबर तो दे के जाओ। कहाँ जा रहे अकेले अकेले? अरे आप रुको तो सही, दो बातें तो करके जाओ।
Ah, good.
अच्छा डोर बंद करके जल्दी आना। चलो उतरो बेटा। अरे हेलमेट नहीं लाई? भूल गई? पता नहीं फ़ाइन कितना है? आओ बेटा।
आप दोनों के पास हेलमेट है। मेरा कोई सेफ्टी नहीं है मेरा हेलमेट का।
Good afternoon, welcome back to the pilot. Are you finding the best lube for the best pool? Asks Russell Yusuf, a student from Visual Communication St. Joseph's College, on his Instagram page at the Daily Lube. We have him here today in the studio. Hello, Russell. Welcome back to the pilot. We have live in from the studio today and our next guest, Russell Yusuf, who's here to talk about his new Instagram page, The Daily Lou. So, Russell, how did you start with the page and tell us a little bit about how The Daily Lou is?
Oh, well, Nicole, I've always had a passion for these toilets. Ever since I was a kid, the first time I saw a toilet, I knew that, this is something that I wanted to get into. And going to different restaurants and cafes and seeing the different designs and sinks and commodes, the way the things are set up, the way it smells, and the wall tiles, the floor tiles, it's just all so overwhelming for me. So I thought I should start reviewing this, sharing it with the public and start building a sort of community out of it.
Right. So, what type of places do you generally review?
So far, it's been cafes and restaurants. Mostly it's that because I go out very often and I meet a few friends here and there. So that's where I usually come across these public restrooms, and people send it to me also. My friends send me pictures of these restrooms from different places, not just Bangalore. So Mumbai, Pune, Pondicherry, Chennai, these are a few places we've had people contributing from. So, but I don't plan on restricting myself to just cafes and restaurants. I'm not averse to any type of public restroom for that matter.
So, that's what you would venture into the future, like, have you done BBMP, for example?
No, BBMP is something that I do plan on doing soon. So, because I think a lot of people would find it helpful if I started reviewing more public toilets, something more accessible for the public rather than, like, say, high-scale restaurants and cafes. So, I want to make it a sort of guide for these people to go through whenever they're using, public restrooms. Yeah.
So, what's the response like on Instagram?
It's been a very positive response so far. So, there have been a lot of people who've approached me saying that they really love the concept and they've never come across anything like this. And there are people who don't like using public restrooms. So they find that this is very helpful. They can just go through the pictures and places and get an idea of what it's like.
So, when you go into, say, a washroom and any random cafe, what do you look at? Like, what are the different reviews, types of reviews that goes into the review?
Goes into the review. Okay, so I pretty much cover everything there is in the restroom. The first thing I notice would be how it smells, if there's any fragrance or if it's a stench. And I look at the sink, if the sink is working properly, if there's a drip on the faucet, and small details like that. And is there hand wash, is there paper towels, is the commode clean and is everything working, is it in order? Whatever the bathroom has, I would take pictures of it and see if it's working or not. And yeah.
So, what are your future plans with the Daily Loo?
Future plans with the Daily Loo, I haven't been able to put in a lot of time for the Daily Loo yet because I'm still working on my final project. So I plan on building this up to a bigger community and a blog, and ultimately I would like to also raise issues about sanitation and public restrooms that are not, very clean, and that's actually a problem here. There are, especially in rural areas, there are people who don't have access to clean restrooms. So maybe if I could contribute to that or help to that, or even just raise awareness about the issue through different people, I think that would be nice.
So, you're a student of visual communication.
Yes.
So, you're from St. Joseph's College, and how does that help with what you do?
So what I'm studying is visual communication, and that's mostly got to do with media, photography, and filmmaking. So it's like there's a lot of people, a lot of interesting people that you come to meet. There's a lot of different ideas that you get, and even with the Daily Loo, my friends could help me shoot different things and come up with different ideas and brainstorm together. So just because I'm in that field, everyone's thinking along those creative lines. So I think that's helpful.
Right. So, once you've done these reviews, has there been a point where any of these cafes that you've done the review on gotten back to you? And
Yes, yeah, there have been a few instances, I would say maybe 3 times, where cafes and restaurants have gotten back to us with like a positive response. They would just like the picture and they comment on it saying thank you, we are glad you liked your toilet and stuff. So I think the thing is, when the restaurants start seeing these posts about their own restrooms, they'll pay more attention to how clean it is, and they'll pay more attention to the design and if everything's working well or not, because they know that now there are people reviewing this and there are people who notice these things. So I think ultimately that's going to help keep restrooms clean and look aesthetic.
so, what do you think is the importance of design in a washroom?
I think design is very important because it helps to spread the word about the restroom, for one thing. And then in our generation, like especially with young people, they go to the restroom, they see a cool mirror, they take a selfie. A very high chance of that happening. So, they take a selfie, they tag the restaurant, and more people come across this really nice design and they want to see it for themselves. So even if they don't plan on going there specifically, if they're around the area, they'll be sure to drop by and check out that restroom, and people get to know more about it. And it's also a good experience, for when you're getting your business done in there. So people will definitely start talking about it more.
So, thank you, Russell. That was quite
Yes, no
insightful
problem,
for
my
all our
pleasure.
viewers at home to take a look at his Instagram at the Daily Loo.
Please do, contribute to the page whenever you feel like it. We're open to people contributing from all over India as of now. So yes. Till next time.
Thank you, Russell.
Yeah.
That was Russell Yusuf. Follow him at the Daily Loo. We'll be right back after a short break where you go to the loo.
और मैडम जा रहे, आओ छोड़ देंगे आपको। अरे कहाँ जा रहे आप, फ़ोन नंबर तो दे के जाओ। कहाँ जा रहे अकेले अकेले? अरे आप रुको तो सही, 2 बातें तो करके जाओ। हाँ गुड।
This is Hatke News, where I bring you the weirdest top 20 news of the day. Kerala residents find alcohol mixed in water flowing through taps at home. A 30-year-old single man in UK advertises himself on a billboard to find a date for this Valentine's Day. A dog, goat, compete for position of pet mayor of US town. Billionaire cancels search for his girlfriend to fly to the moon after 27,000 apply. A US man visits hospital as legs turn blue. Reasons turn out to be the color of his jeans. A 51-year-old woman arrested for pooping 8 times in a parking lot. Studies show Mount Vesuvius' extreme heat turns man's brain to glass. Man steals speakers and gets arrested on purpose to avoid getting married to lover in China. 2 men in New Zealand and Spain make Earth sandwich, placing bread on exactly opposite points of this planet. A 27-year-old imam finds out his wife is a man 2 weeks after wedding in Uganda. This royal family has part-time position. Burger King offers Prince Harry a job. A 100-year-old tortoise retires after his sex drive helps him to save his species. We are more interested in your number. Pune police to man asking women's number on Twitter. Sheep got pregnant with triplets and was made to wear a bra in New Zealand. Indian origin ecologist helped create a scientist Barbie doll. The Tamil Nadu police stopped biker on a BMN superbike just to click photos along with the bike. Hashtag Tamil Nadu police. A 7-month-old baby made honorary mayor in Texas. This is in the US. A pigeon spotter wearing cowboy hats in Las Vegas. Video gone viral. A couple gets a bouquet of onions as a wedding gift in Tamil Nadu. Picture goes viral. A performance artist eats 85 lakh banana duct tape to the wall. Says he was hungry.
Art performance. Art performance. Hungry artist. Yep.
A group of kids from class 8 in Philippines turned stray dog poop into construction works. That's all for Hatke News.
अच्छा डोर बंद करके जल्दी आना। चलो उतरो बेटा। अरे हेलमेट नहीं लाई, भूल गई? पता नहीं फाइन कितना है। आओ बेटा।
आप दोनों के पास हेलमेट है, मेरा कोई सेफ्टी नहीं है मेरा हेलमेट का।